Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're talking 90 Day Fiance The Single Life, Season 4, Episode 6, talking about my favorite cast member on the show, Natalie. We catch up with Natalie as she takes her mom out to breakfast where they can talk about their favorite topic in the world, boys. Natalie tells us that although Josh is out of town for business right now, Natalie thinks the relationship is going great and thinks that Josh is painting a picture of their life together.
Josh helping us with apartment and giving me a car. Now I feel he's letting me into his life and he's painting a picture of us. It's just like great.
Ooh, look at that salad. And I'm glad that she's feeling like the relationship is in a better place. You know, I want everyone to be happy. But it is funny that the reason she gave just before saying that she thinks they're in a good place is that Josh is helping them with the apartment and bought her a car.
Josh helping us with apartment and giving me a car.
Could always be editing, you know, we don't know exactly what's going on in her head. But at face value, it is interesting that she feels better about the relationship now that Josh is doing all these things for her and possibly supporting financially. And hey, I know a lot of people think that she could be using him, and maybe she is, you know, she might be. But honestly, it really could be that she just really values acts of service and gift giving and just sees Josh actually doing these things as, okay, he actually cares about the relationship now. So I don't know if she's just happy to have the money and the stuff, or this finally gives her a sense of security with Josh that he is now finally invested in the relationship. But regardless, Josh seems to have not impressed Natalie's mother, who despite all the time and the problems that Natalie had with Mike, still thinks that Mike is the way to go.
А как Майкл? В любом случае, он всегда ко мне хорошо относился. Он даже называл мами.
In fact, she likes Mike so much that she wants Natalie to call Mike in the middle of their breakfast, which for some reason she does, and Mike answers. It goes fine. I guess Natalie wanted to just say hi and say, oh, you know, guess who I have here? It's my mom. You know, you two haven't talked in a while, so it was kind of cute, and, you know, Mike was happy to see her.
Я благодарю тебя. I appreciate it, Michael. Спасибо.
And the mom insists that they all go for lunch or coffee and meet up sometime, as if Mike wasn't 2 states away. And after the three of them agree and probably confuse the hell out of Mike, Natalie hangs up and the scene ends.
Mom is so attached to Michael, it means she won't be able to build connection with Josh, and it makes things even harder.
That's actually pretty well said by Natalie. She understands that her mom really likes Michael, but as long as she really likes Michael, then the mom can't really start seeing Josh as a viable candidate in the meantime. I was gonna say it's like when you're not really over your ex, you can't really build a new relationship with someone new, but I guess that's literally what's going on, except it's her mom. It's not her ex that she can't get, it's her mom that can't get over Natalie's ex. You get it. So it makes sense that Natalie's conflicted about this whole thing, but can we take a moment and talk about Mike? Because assuming this wasn't just some producer trick and Mike was absolutely expecting the phone call and all that, then this would just be a random phone call out of the blue from your ex that you probably don't talk to that frequently anymore. So you're getting a video call from your ex, but it's also your ex and your ex's mom who you had a good relationship with, so that can be a little extra weird. But then they all agree to hang out and get food sometime, and if I'm Mike, what's going on? What's the intent behind this? Is Natalie and her mother really gonna fly all the way up here 2 states away just to say hi? Is this some plan to get us back together? You know, does the mom want this? Like, why is this happening? Can I just go back to living my life? Then we get a scene with Josh and his friends, and oh my God, what is with people in LA? I know that there's this stereotype about people in LA and like plastic surgery and money and just being all about themselves, but who the fuck is this guy? Listen, I'm not trying to be judgmental, you know, maybe he's a nice guy, you know, no hate towards the guy, but if I were to just see that guy, if he's the receptionist at the store or my barista, I'm looking at that guy one time and turning around. Isn't there just something about this guy that just gives you the creeps? I can't quite put my finger on it. You know, he's got hair that's, you know, a little extra. Maybe it's a little too stylized and colored for my personal taste, but I don't know, there's something else. It's in the eyes, isn't it? Don't his eyes just look a little beady and out for himself? I don't know, could be nothing, just some gut feeling I have, but apparently he's the COO of Josh's company. So I don't know if they're all here for exposure for their company, but if the audience agrees with me, then probably not good exposure. Anyway, the reason Josh is out here meeting his friends like this is so his friends can voice to him and to the camera that they're concerned about him. What if this person from another country is out here to use you? You're spending so much time with them and we don't trust them, and we're just watching out for you, bro. We get this scene with every couple on the show. It's a little old, but if you've been following this season, then you know that they do have a bit more to go on than some other couples. Because he isn't just spending some time with Natalie, he helped get them in apartments and apparently co-signed on it, got her job interviews, and, bought her a car. And they say all that to Josh, like, hey, are you sure this person isn't just here to use you?
It's just starting to look really fishy.
Yeah, man. It's just not adding up, man.
And Josh is like, yeah, you know what? I do all those things. I also got her a movie audition.
I've started talks on a small project with David Walks.
For her.
For her?
Yeah, I did all those other things for her that made you, my friends, concerned about me, but I also did some other stuff that further looks like she's using me. Josh tells us in the one-on-one after the meeting that he appreciates his friends really laying it out for him. He might know he's doing these things, but once you get someone you trust to really lay it all out and you can see it from their perspective, it's like, oh, yeah, maybe, this does seem a little weird.
But, talking with my friends, they're really just putting it out there as far as what I actually am doing. It's a lot.
So he appreciates that. But what's more interesting is that he does reveal to the camera that he's not sure why he's so attracted to complicated women.
I don't know why I'm attracted to complicated women.
And boy, is there a lot to talk about there. Hopefully with his therapist, but I'm glad he at least knows that. I asked you in my last video about Natalie what you all thought was going on with the two of them, and although there were a lot of different theories, it does seem that a lot of people thought that it could be the show and the producers buying Natalie the car and not actually Josh, and suspect that a lot of Josh's motivations for being nice to Natalie and pursuing this relationship could be in relation to how much exposure he and his company or whatever is getting from being on the show. And I gotta say, both of those totally could be true. I am consistently suspicious of what's going on with Josh, but I also do think that it definitely could have been the producers buying Natalie the car. Maybe it was with her money and TLC threw in a little bit extra so she could have a car. Maybe they bought her the car to begin with and said, just as long, we'll buy you this car as long as you say that Josh got it for you. Maybe she doesn't have a car at all and it was just a rental, or hey, you could just use this, and they just filmed that scene as if Josh bought her a car. And I say that because, for one, it's pretty weird to buy someone a car like that at all. But if that car scene was contrived by the producers, and maybe that movie producer friend could have been also from the producers, that does make sense, especially so they could set up all of the friends saying, wow, look at all the things you're doing for her. You bought her a car, you got her the audition. It makes sense to set that up as proof of how he's going way too above and beyond. So if you think the car scene may have been some shenanigans and the movie producer may have been a bit of a plant, then that scene could have also been manufactured. But even if that might be literally what's happening behind the scenes, I do think a lot of the emotions and the questions we have about, well, what's Natalie going on? Why is she creepy? Why is Josh into her? I do think a lot of that fundamental emotional stuff still has a basis in reality, so we can still talk about it. This whole thing with Natalie and her mom, for instance, makes me pretty uncomfortable. For one, it's setting up this whole Josh versus Mike thing, which I feel like is just disrespectful, at least to Mike. It feels a little objectifying, like you're just a pawn in Natalie's storyline. I would say the same thing for Josh, that he's just a pawn, but he might be a little more okay with that for exposure. But it also feels a little consistent with Natalie as a character over time, that it's hard to describe, but as if she really sees everything and the world through strictly her lens. I'm not calling her a narcissist or anything, but there are a lot of people, I think, online that would attempt to call her that, or think that she's a user and tries to get things from people. And then you have Josh, who says he's into complicated women. I don't know if he meant that just as a joke, and this is a one-off thing, like, yeah, I'm into Natalie, I guess I like complicated women. Or if he has an established pattern by now of dating women with various kinds of attachment injuries. So I don't know, it does seem like this would be producer driven, a lot of this drama, but whoever actually bought Natalie a car, Natalie still has this pattern. She's still kind of cringy and awkward and unpredictable in ways, and might totally be the kind of girl that Josh would be after. There certainly are guys after complicated women, and vice versa for that matter. And given what we've seen of the mom and her insistence on getting married, and Amelia at the airport, if you recall, saying, oh, where's the man to fix these things? Josh isn't here. You know, what you need someone to take care of you. It was a very traditional man must take care of woman mentality that we could easily understand Natalie adopting over time.
А нас Джош разве не встретит? Вот мужчина бы нам чемодан. Это плохо, что мы сами и нас некому защитить. Вот.
I don't really know what I'm saying. I guess I don't have a greater points right now. I think I'm just saying, yeah, it does seem like some of this stuff could be fake. I don't know if I believe that Josh bought her that car, but there's enough other stuff going on with Natalie as a person and her situation with Mike and whatever is going on with Josh and all these freaky looking LA people that I don't think all this cringe and weirdness and emotional discomfort going on here is fake. I don't think that can all be fake. So regardless of what's really going on, it's so interesting to me. I love watching every scene with Natalie. I look forward to making even more videos on her. And one of these days, maybe towards the end of the season or around the tell-all, I would like to take a deeper dive around what could be going on with Natalie, really trying to figure out why a lot of her scenes feel so uncomfortable and what's the pattern here, what's going on with her. I just feel like I could talk about Natalie all day and I kind of want to. So maybe that video will come. Let me know in the comments below if you would be interested in that. That's all I got for today's video. Let me know what you thought about these couples in the comments down below. And until next time, if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy my content, make sure to hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the join button, ring the bell for notifications, and every comment helps the algorithm. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.